I am thinking about a signal right now. It left a star 4 years ago. It has been crossing the empty space between that star and here at 300 million meters per second every second for 4 years, without slowing, without effort, without anything to push against. It will arrive in a few months. There is no way to make it arrive sooner. It is already traveling at the fastest speed anything can travel, and that speed, which sounds enormous when spoken aloud, is unbearably slow. The signal carries information about something that happened 4 years ago. By the time we receive it, the thing that happened will be 4 years older. If that thing no longer exists, we will not know until the light telling us it has ended finally crosses the distance. We are always waiting. The universe makes us wait. And the thing that makes us wait is not a failure of our instruments or our methods. It is the structure of reality itself. I want you to feel the question before I ask it. Why this speed? Why 300 million meters per second and not faster? Why not instant? There is nothing in our experience of throwing a ball or driving a vehicle or watching a bird cross the sky that prepares us for the idea that there is a speed nothing can exceed. Speed in everyday life is a matter of effort and engineering. Apply more force, go faster. Build a better engine, go faster. Remove the obstacles, go faster. There is no moment in ordinary experience where you press the accelerator and the universe says no further. And yet we are told light speed is the limit. Nothing can exceed it. The question that should be immediate, that should be unbearable, is why? The answer most people carry is that this is a rule, a law of physics, like a law in a legal code. The universe has prohibited faster than light travel the way a government prohibits certain speeds on certain roads. This is wrong in a way that matters. A rule implies an enforcer. A prohibition implies that the thing prohibited could exist but has been forbidden. What I am going to show you is that nothing travels faster than light, not because it is against the rules, but because faster than light is not a speed. It is not a thing the universe has said no to. It is a sentence the universe cannot parse. Let me begin with what light speed is. Not the speed of light specifically, the speed of cause. When something happens here, and that happening produces an effect over there, the effect cannot arrive before a signal traveling at light speed could have connected the 2 points. Cause and effect are not just related in time, they are related by a maximum propagation speed. If I push a button and the light turns on across the room, it feels instant. It is not. The electromagnetic signal that carries the push to the light travels at light speed. The delay is too small to perceive, but it is there, absolute, unremovable. Everything that happens at a distance from everything else, and the connection between happenings cannot travel faster than light. This is not a fact about light, it is a fact about happenings. Now consider what it would mean for something to travel faster than light. You are asking for an effect to arrive before the cause that produces it could arrive. Not in the sense of time travel stories, where causation is reversed and paradoxes emerge. In a more fundamental sense, you are asking for information, for a difference, for anything that could matter to propagate faster than cause can propagate. And cause is not something that moves through the universe. Cause is the structure that makes through and universe mean anything. If effect can arrive before cause, then the order of events is not just scrambled, it dissolves. There is no before and after, no this then that. There is only an incoherent pile of happenings with no grammar connecting them. I know this sounds like I am saying faster than light travel would create paradoxes, and paradoxes are bad, so we should not allow it. That is not what I am saying. I am saying the question consumes itself. To ask what if something traveled faster than light is to ask what if an effect arrived before it was possible for anything to have caused it. And the answer is not that something strange would happen. The answer is that you have stopped describing a universe. You are making sounds that feel like a question but have no floor beneath them. Let me come at this another way. You are standing still. I am standing still. We are both looking at a clock on the wall. We agree on what time it is. This feels natural, obvious, universal. It is none of those things. We agree on the time because we are not moving relative to each other. If I begin moving very fast relative to you, not fast by the standards of a car or a plane, fast by the standards of a significant fraction of light speed, then we stop agreeing about what time it is, not because one of our clocks is broken, because time itself is not universal. There is no single now that stretches across the universe. There is only now relative to me, now relative to you. And those two nows are the same only if we are at rest relative to each other. This is not speculation, this is measurement. Clocks moving at high speed relative to stationary clocks run slower, not because they are damaged, because time is not a fixed container through which things move. Time is something that bends, stretches, dilates depending on how fast you are moving through space. If you find this difficult to accept, I understand. It is difficult. But difficulty is not evidence of falsehood. The universe does not owe us intuitions that match its structure. Here is what this means for simultaneity. Two events happen. One happens here, one happens far away. You ask, did they happen at the same time? The question has no answer unless you specify at the same time for whom. If the events are separated by enough distance and no signal traveling at or below light speed connects them, then there is no universal fact about which happened first. For some observers, event A happens before event B. For other observers, moving differently, event B happens before event A. For others still, they happen simultaneously. All of these observers are correct. There is no true order. The order is not a feature of the events. It is a feature of the observer's motion. Now you see the problem. If something could travel faster than light, it could carry information between two events that have no universal order. It could create a causal link, this cause, that between events where this and that have no agreed upon sequence, you could arrange a situation where from one perspective the cause comes before the effect, and from another perspective the effect comes before the cause, not as paradox, as direct implication of the geometry. And this does not mean causation breaks in a dramatic, explosive way. It means causation never had the structure you thought it had. The universe is not a stage on which events occur in order. It is a four-dimensional geometry where order itself is observer-dependent, and the only thing holding it together is that no information, no cause can propagate faster than light. Let me show you why light speed is special. Not because it is very fast, because it is invariant. If you are standing still and you measure the speed of a beam of light, you will get a specific number, 299,792,458 meters per second. If you are moving toward the source of that light at half the speed of light, you might expect to measure the light moving toward you faster your speed plus its speed. You do not. You measure exactly the same speed. If you are moving away from the light at 90% of light speed, you might expect the light to be catching up to you slowly. It is not. You still measure it moving at exactly 299,792,458 meters per second. Every observer, regardless of their motion, measures light moving at the same speed. This is not intuitive. It is not how speeds add in everyday experience. If you are on a train moving at 50 kilometers per hour and you throw a ball forward at 20 kilometers per hour, someone standing on the platform will measure the ball moving at 70 kilometers per hour. Speeds add, except light does not add. Light is always the same speed, no matter who is measuring, no matter how they are moving. This is not a property of light as a substance. This is the invariant structure underneath motion itself. If light speed is constant for all observers, then something else has to give. What gives is time and space. They are not fixed. An object moving fast through space moves slowly through time. A meter stick moving at high speed is shorter than a meter stick at rest, and the contraction is real, not an illusion. These are not distortions imposed on an underlying fixed reality. These are the structure of reality revealed. Time and space are not the stage. They are part of the performance, bending and flexing to preserve the one thing that does not bend, the speed at which cause propagates. Now consider what happens if you try to accelerate to light speed. You apply a force, you accelerate, you go faster. You apply more force, you go faster still. But as you approach light speed, something changes. The energy you put in does not produce the acceleration it used to. You are not pushing against friction or air resistance. You are pushing against the geometry of space-time itself. From the perspective of a stationary observer, your mass increases. Not because you have gained matter, because mass is a measure of resistance to acceleration, and the closer you get to light speed, the more energy is required to produce the same change in velocity. At light speed, your mass would be infinite. Infinite mass requires infinite energy to move. You cannot reach light speed because the energy required diverges to infinity before you get there. This is not a practical limitation. It is not that we lack sufficiently powerful engines. It is that the question, how much energy would it take, has no finite answer. Photons travel at light speed because they have no mass. Massless particles do not accelerate to light speed. They exist at light speed. They do not experience time. From the perspective of a photon, if we could speak of such a perspective, which we cannot quite do, departure and arrival at the same moment, it crosses the universe in zero time, not because it is moving so fast that the time is negligible, because it does not move through time. It moves through space at the only speed at which something with no mass can move, and that speed is the invariant speed, the speed that is the same for all observers, the speed that holds causation together. Let me give you a number to hold. The distance across our galaxy is roughly 100,000 light years. A light year is the distance light travels in 1 year. This means if you want to send a signal from one edge of the galaxy to the other, it will take 100,000 years for that signal to arrive. If you are waiting for a response, you will wait 200,000 years. There is no civilization, no species, no continuous cultural memory that lasts that long. By the time the response arrives, everyone who sent the message is gone, everyone who knew them is gone, the languages in which the message was written are gone. This is not a failure of communication technology. This is what distance means in a universe where causation has a speed, and that speed is finite. You might think, but what if we could go faster? What if we accelerated to 99% of light speed, or 99.9%? From the perspective of someone traveling at that speed, time dilation becomes extreme. If you are moving at 99.9% of light speed relative to the galaxy, your clock runs much slower than a clock at rest in the galaxy. A journey that takes 100,000 years from the perspective of the galaxy might take only a few decades from your perspective. You could cross the galaxy within your own lifetime. But you cannot send information back. You cannot report what you find faster than light speed allows. And when you return, if you return, everyone you knew is dead. The time dilation does not cheat the speed limit. It makes the limit bearable for the traveler by making time itself flexible, but the limit remains absolute. Here is what I want you to understand about that absolute. It is not negotiable. Not in the sense that we have decided it is non-negotiable. In the sense that negotiation is not a category that applies. You do not negotiate with the structure of space-time any more than you negotiate with the fact that parallel lines do not meet. The geometry does not care what you want. It does not care what would be convenient or beautiful or just. It simply is what it is, and every measurement we have ever made confirms that what it is includes a maximum propagation speed for cause. Let me bring this back to where we began. The signal crossing space, taking 4 years, already traveling as fast as anything can travel. You want it to arrive sooner. You want to send a faster signal. You want to step outside the constraint, but the constraint is not a boundary in space. It is the structure of space itself. There is no outside. You are inside a reference frame. You are always inside the reference frame. Every measurement you make, every observation, every thought about faster or slower, simultaneous or sequential, is made from inside a frame you cannot step out of. And the speed of light is not the speed at which a particular thing moves. It is the rate at which the present tense propagates. It is the speed of now arriving. When I say nothing can travel faster than light, I mean it precisely. Nothing. Not a thing that could exist but does not. Not a vehicle we have not yet built. Literal nothing. There is no thing that travels faster than light, because faster than light is not a region of speeds. It is not a place you could go if only you had enough fuel. The geometry of space-time does not extend there. Asking what exists faster than light is like asking what is north of the North Pole. The question uses words that sound meaningful, but the meaning dissolves when you try to cash it out. North is a direction defined by the surface of the Earth. At the North Pole, the surface curves such that there is no further north, not because something is blocking the way, because the direction ends. Faster than light is not blocked. It is not a direction. Here is what this costs. Every time we imagine faster than light travel, we are imagining a universe that is not this one. We are imagining fixed time, universal simultaneity, a clean separation between space and time, a stage on which things happen in order. That universe does not exist. It never existed. It is a fiction our nervous systems build from local experience, and local experience is not a guide to structure. The universe is not required to match the shape of our intuitions. Our intuitions are required to bend, break, or be abandoned when they conflict with measurement. And measurement says time is relative, space is relative, simultaneity is relative. The only invariant is the speed of cause. There is something else I need you to see. The speed of light does not just limit how fast things can move. It limits how quickly you can know anything about anything that is not immediately next to you. Information is physical. It must be carried by something, a photon, an electron, a vibration in a field. Whatever carries it cannot move faster than light. This means knowledge itself has a speed limit. If something happens far away, you cannot know it happened until light from that event reaches you. You are not just separated from distant events by space. You are separated from them by time, and the separation is mandatory. There is no simultaneity at a distance. There is only, I will know when the light gets here. This has a strange consequence. The universe you see is not the universe as it is now. It is the universe as it was at various distances in the past. When you look at the moon, you see it as it was 1.3 seconds ago. When you look at the sun, you see it as it was 8 minutes ago. When you look at the nearest star beyond the sun, you see it as it was 4 years ago. When you look at the Andromeda galaxy, you see it as it was 2.5 million years ago. You are not looking at a single moment. You are looking at a layered history, each layer corresponding to a different distance, each distance corresponding to a different moment in the past. The present tense does not exist as a single surface stretching across space. It is smeared out, light travel time thick, and you are always looking backward into it. Does this bother you? It should. Not because it is wrong, because it is right. And it means the intuitive picture, the one where there is a single present moment containing everything that exists right now, is not just simplified. It is false. The universe does not have a now. It has a your now and a my now and a their now, and those nows are only the same if we are at rest relative to each other and close enough that light travel time does not matter. Once distance enters, once relative motion enters, the nows separate. They do not line up. They cannot line up. And the thing that prevents them from lining up is the thing that prevents anything from traveling faster than light. They are the same constraint, seen from different angles. I know there is a part of you that wants to believe this is temporary, that it is a limitation of current physics, and future physics will find a way around it. Wormholes, warp drives, quantum entanglement carrying information. Let me be clear. Quantum entanglement does not carry information faster than light. It correlates measurements, but the correlation cannot be used to transmit a signal. Wormholes, if they could exist, and it is not clear they can, would not allow you to travel faster than light through space. They would be shortcuts through spacetime, and the geometry of those shortcuts would still be constrained by causation. Every proposed mechanism for faster than light travel either does not work or requires exotic matter with negative energy density that probably cannot exist, or quietly rewrites the question so that faster than light no longer means what it meant. The speed limit is not a gap in our knowledge, it is what we know. There is a difference between a limitation we might overcome and a limitation that is the structure of the world. We might overcome our inability to reach other stars within a human lifetime. Better propulsion, longer lifespans, generation ships, suspended animation, these are engineering problems. Hard problems, perhaps unsolvable problems, but problems that live in the space of things that could be different if we were more clever or more determined. The speed of light is not an engineering problem. It is not a problem at all. It is the shape of causation. You cannot engineer your way out of the shape of causation any more than you can engineer a triangle with 4 sides. The words sound like they mean something, but they do not. I want you to sit with this for a moment, not as abstraction. As the universe, you are inside. You are here. Someone you love is far away. If they are far enough away, and you want to know how they are right now, you cannot know. There is no right now that includes both you and them, unless you are at rest relative to each other and close enough that light travel time is negligible. If they are light years away, then right now for you is not right now for them. If something happens to them at this moment in their reference frame, you will not know for years. The information will travel toward you at light speed, and you will wait, because waiting is what it means to be separated by distance in this universe. The universe does not let you skip the wait, not because it is cruel, because the wait is not a delay imposed on an underlying instantaneous connection. The wait is the connection. The propagation of cause at light speed is the only connection there is. This is what nothing can travel faster than light means. It means you are always waiting for the present to arrive. It means causation has a speed, and that speed is not arbitrary. It is the invariant that holds reference frames together when everything else falls apart. It means the universe is not a container with things inside it moving around. The universe is a geometry, and you are a feature of that geometry, moving through space-time at a rate determined by how fast you move through space. It means some boundaries are not walls to be breached, but the edge of coherence itself. It means the limit is not something imposed on the universe from outside. The limit is the universe showing you its shape. And here is the part that does not resolve. You cannot think your way outside this. Every attempt to imagine faster than light travel already assumes a fixed stage, a universal time, a clear separation between here and there, now and then. Those assumptions are false. You are trying to use the intuitions of a universe that does not exist to escape the structure of the universe that does. It cannot be done. Not because I say so, because the structure does not have an outside. You are inside a reference frame. The speed of light is the speed at which reference frames remain coherent with each other. There is nowhere else to stand. The signal is still crossing space. It will arrive in a few months. You will wait. I will wait. We are always waiting. The speed of light is not the speed at which light travels. It is the speed at which anything travels that carries cause, and cause is all we have. The universe is not withholding something from us. It is showing us what it is made of. Time, space, causation, speed, none of these are what we thought they were. And nothing travels faster than light because nothing is not a thing. It is the absence of things. And the absence travels exactly as fast as presence does, at the speed of cause, at the speed of now becoming then, at the only speed there is.